that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ladies first.
Oh, why, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Maya Avery.
I am Clarence Singleton.
Y'all already know me. So, today I am sitting with them and we will be discussing relationships. And not just relationships overall, but just the difference between relationships back in the day, maybe with your parents or your grandparents, and relationships today. Do y'all notice a big difference in the way, or some of the things you see regarding relationships and how they, maybe you came up and the way they're carried out today?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So we've had a conversation about one of the main topics in us getting to know each other, because right now we're like really good friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And something I shared with him was that my mom never taught me about submission. And so and about submission. And I think that came about because the liberation movement came in like the late 70s, early 80s. And so when you feel like you want to be liberated, every woman wants to be empowered.
Right.
And so submission comes in as, oh, that's ugly. What? Submit to a man? Then I want to teach my daughter to be independent. And the very first thing I shared with him was, look, she never taught me about submission, but I will be the first to say that, but I'm not independent. Like, I'm self-sufficient, but I don't practice independency when it comes to a man. Now, I will admit that I don't know how to lead well. I mean, I don't follow instructions well when it comes to a man.
Okay.
So I think that has, I think that has a lot to do with not learning how to submit, and then under biblical principles, right? Do you agree?
I agree.
Do you agree with that? And I think that has a lot to do with the breakdown of relationships. So if you don't understand the true meaning or the true essence of submission, and getting rid of the liberation part, we can be liberated, right? We can have that self-sufficiency, right? But we also want to be wifey material. And if you say you're wifey material, what actually does that really mean when you're really wifey material?
Coming up to be a wife meant to take care of the home,
Mm-hmm.
to take care of your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
to have make sure that things were done privately and not publicly.
Right.
And you represented not just yourself, but your kids and your spouse
husband. Mm-hmm.
everywhere you went. Do you think that in today's society that has kind of gone out the window?
Most definitely. And I think, I remember in a class I was in, they made a point that said women need love, men need respect. And to my knowledge, my experience, respect means so much, because you can take two men on a job and we don't have to like each other, but
Sure.
the job can get done. We can finish this job effectively as long as we respect each other.
Right.
And it's the same way in a relationship. This is a job. You know what I'm saying? If I'm with this woman, and it's easier to love her, you know what I'm saying, when she respects me. But
Okay.
at the same time, when that becomes debatable, when it comes to me trying to lead, and then she has this brick in her head,
Right.
to where it's like she's
No.
just so stubborn and just unnecessarily defiant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's even harder when you see how she submits to the red light, the stop signs, to the authorities at her job. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's over her, you have no problem. You'll go to work, and you'll even come home and work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you submitting to your job.
Yeah.
But when your husband asks you to do, like you said, those take care of the home, take care of your husband,
Yeah.
now that becomes a problem. And then it goes back into what she was saying, how this liberation, this woman empowerment type thing is like, okay, can you actually manage the power that you're striving for without negotiating or compromising your responsibility as a wife?
Okay, I want to go back to that, because my question now is, I think that the liberation movement started in one way, but has definitely repackaged itself.
Absolutely.
Women are doing a lot more things and taking on a lot of the roles that were for the man to do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I want to ask you about or bring up is many of the divorces that have happened recently, Mary J. Blige, Mel B, a lot of these people are getting divorced, and the men are asking for, I'm gonna call them a severance package. My take on that is that, you know, these men were in these circles for a reason. They didn't just walk off the street. They had built themselves and they had done things that allowed them to even run in the same circle as people like Mary J. Blige, right? When the man makes a decision to say, oh, this is going to be my only client, this is going to be, and this is where I want to focus. My question to you is, should the woman have to pay for that when things go wrong? If you decide to let your business kind of fall to the backside, and which in her case is what happened with Kendu. He had a thriving business as a manager, which is how they met. And then he decided, oh, I'm going to put all my focus towards her and repackaging her and pushing her, and we're going to take it from angry Mary to, you know, loving Mary, and everybody was like, I don't like Mary in love. I don't know if y'all remember that, but like, should she have to pay for decisions that he made regarding his career?
Well, this is my thing. If you're going to be with, I'm trying to remember what rappers said. They said, if you're going to be there, if you wasn't there with me in the drive, don't be there when I park.
Okay.
So the thing is, if I'm succeeding in this and you benefit, if I fall off, then hey.
I get that, but if, let me see the best way to get there. I think that some men have taken I don't know if y'all remember Kevin Federline. I think they've taken that Kevin Federline thing and kind of tweaked it. In that no one's asking you to give up your career. I can still remain your client. You can still get your percentage. I'm not asking you to do.
But what was the non-negotiables behind the scene that we didn't hear about?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, now I'm your only client.
Right.
But what if that was something that she said, hey, I want to be your only client?
Okay.
We don't know that part of the story.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
That is true.
I don't know that part of the story. So if I'm your only client and this is what we agreed to, then you got to pay me. I want my money. It wouldn't be fair for me to manage Clarence and I say, hey, now you know you can't get another manager, right? It's just between you and I. So I'm your only client. This is our business. This is what we agreed to. Anything outside of me is that I'll get a portion.
Okay.
You know, so if we separate, then the agreement is I get 25, 30%, etc. And that's the agreement. Why are we angry? Why is she angry? Why is she mad?
I do know that he had started stealing money from her. That was part of that.
I
I
don't know the whole story, but
right.
I don't either. But when you add that element, that changes the whole dynamics.
Yeah. But I think in general, do you feel that women have become stronger and started taking on roles because men have become more of the submissive? Do you think?
I believe that there's definitely been a role change.
Okay.
I think, and sometimes where a lot of women would say we've gotten stronger,
right?
Some men will look at that and say you actually gotten weaker. Because, hey, if anybody have enough time to study or read a book, go to class, make good grades, and you can almost, in a sense, succeed. You know what I'm saying? In some, whatever field there is, that just depend on the level of ambition that you put toward it. Hey, you can do good at it. But at the same time, it's the responsibility that men have while in the process. Because there's also been a difference where you can see a girl in college, you know, in the process, and they can be a well-established man. He'll still cater to her, be with her. It's just like, hey, I like who she is. I'm attracted to her, whatever else, and I can be with her. But now if you have a guy that's in the process, and then you have a woman that's well-established, she's not going to even consider him in a lot of cases. I ain't going to say all cases, but in a lot of cases, she won't even consider, I don't want no man on the way. I want a man to meet me there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now we have this double standard thing. You know, it applies to me, but it don't apply to you. So now, hey, men are looking at it in the sense that if women, y'all outnumber us, You know what I'm saying? And the same problem that they have with men have the same problem with them. Like, it's a bunch of y'all, but it's only a few of y'all that I want to entertain. And to a woman, it's only a few of y'all, and even a fewer amount that I want to entertain, unless she compromise.
Do you think that there is an issue when a woman says, I'm done looking for potential?
The problem was she was looking in the first place. That's the first problem.
Because it says he who finds instead of she who finds.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to, I think I walked in on something you said. Did you say that it's women, let me make sure I'm quoting you correctly. Did you just say that women, we tend not to take care of men? Or
I said it's a difference when a
men?
man it's almost not a question. If a man meets a woman and he's physically, mentally attracted to her, she can be in the process and he can already be well established. And he'll still be with her and may even fund her, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
In a lot of ways.
Correct.
But there are a lot of women that would say, hey, if I'm already established and he's in the process, then I won't entertain him. Meet me when you get there.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
I think you're from Mississippi.
Correct.
And I'm from Mississippi.
All right.
I think that that's maybe a geographical thing because where we're from, if the
We
potential,
support 'em.
we support them. So if they have the potential,
And you have
they
some
go-
here that'll do it, but I'm
Okay.
just saying. But we're looking at generally, if we say the majority, if you take 100 women, I think I can safely assume that you would have at least 60 or 70% that would like, okay, I mean, he's a nice guy. Because the thing is, you won't really be able to find out how nice of a guy he is sometimes until he's in your circle.
Okay, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
like, you
true.
have to be at a certain place for me to even meet you.
Right, that's what I said. You have to be on a certain
Right,
level
certain
to
level.
even run in the same circles.
And
That's
it's,
true.
and it's different when you take the upper echelon, say like the ball players or different people, you know, men, you know, because now you have a building full of women. It's almost like something simple as a club.
Okay.
You have the men have to pay 20,
True.
then the women get in free.
Yeah.
Because they know, hey, if we bring the women,
The
then we
men
know the
will
men
come.
gonna come.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a bait in a sense to catch that type of fish.
Okay.
And so with some women, that bait has to be her looks because she may not have any substance mentally,
Sure.
but she has the body, she has the look.
so what describes substance to you, Clarence? What is like substance? Because I know for a fact that like Mr. Clarence is different from 98% of the men.
She
that
said
I've ever
98. Wow. Now that's a high
A
number.
number, yeah.
I want to hear this now.
Yeah. I'll say 98% of the men, you know, really. But like substance to me, it's packaged. So what does that look like? Y'all pay attention, y'all. Check
Okay.
this out.
Now this is just coming from me.
Just him, right?
Correct.
To me, substance
That 2%.
is that 2%. Substance begins with her love for God.
Okay.
And if you love God and you understand that God is love, and you understand that it's embedded in your DNA to be a nurturer, to be a lover, you know what I'm saying, to be a producer, a reproducer in a sense. So it's like you can take on this role and you can accept it. You actually embrace it. So when we have topics such as submission, you don't look at it as a weakness, but you look at it and realize it's a strength because it requires discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to discipline myself. I have to be able to effectively manage my emotions to where that, hey, when I feel like this, it may not make sense because now we're dealing with emotions versus logic.
Right.
We know that a lot of men are logical and a lot of women are by nature emotional.
Emotional, right.
Although you have a lot of women that are very logical. I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea with that. I'm not saying that women are not
Right.
logical.
I get it.
But at the same time, if I'm thinking about tomorrow, yesterday, I need you to complement my decision making today. You know what I'm saying? So a woman that is well established mentally, that considers me first, because she know that, hey, if I look out for him, he's already making provision for me.
Right.
So it's I mean, substance can look like how
So
she
he want a whole Proverbs 31 woman.
yeah,
Y'all.
yeah. I mean, 'cause- and I said before, but I said before
No
on my
excuses,
panel, a lot of people they say I want a wife material,
Right.
you know, or a husband material.
Correct.
And my mom, she used to be a seamstress back in the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I remember going with her to the different fabric stores and stuff like that. So she may get a piece of silk here, she may get a piece of linen or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever the material. May pick up a zipper over there, you know, or a string here. And so now she already seen visualize or had a visual of what she's trying to create.
Right.
So she go out and she gather all the fragments and then come back and put it all together.
Right.
So the thing is, I don't want the material of a wife. I want the outfit. I want it when it's done. And that means that, and it don't mean that you can't add enhancements, because the thing is, if you have the outfit, then I can add the accessories.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can zip it up. You feel me?
Put a little jewels on it, honey.
You see what I'm saying? Right. But the outfit, I don't want the material. I don't want fragments of you, because like I said, what's the point of dressing you up if your back is going to be out?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can put this material on, but your whole cleavage is busting out. So
Right.
now,
And he means that in a literal way. Just
yeah, in a
FYI.
literal sense. Yeah,
Yeah, calling with the cleave.
man. I mean,
The
it's
cleavage, the back, the thigh.
The back, all
Baby,
about
just show your
all
phalanges,
the body
okay?
parts.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
show your
because-
I just need your fingers.
because I want you to have enough substance to where you can be to where you know how to be sexy and classy at the same time.
Okay.
Because the first thing he said was biblical, and one of the natures of a wife is to be modest, and to be modest in the way she dressed.
Right.
Right? So that's a part of being modest in the way she dressed, and what he said was, you can be sexy and cover yourself
You
up.
can.
Because
Right.
you're
I'm a
supposed to be
firm
just
believer in that.
sexy,
Yeah.
just for me.
Me.
Because
Yeah,
sexy
it's
is a
mine.
characteristic, not an outfit.
Right.
True.
Yeah, not a shape. So yeah.
No, shit.
Yeah.
Now you like shape, Clarence.
I do like shapes. I love shapes. I love the curves of a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I always use the analogy of sports cars, and then you have luxury cars.
True.
Now the sports cars, they come with all the curves.
They do.
They got the shiny fancy rims on them, but they got the itty bitty tires on there. So if you hit a pothole, it's gonna bust.
Right.
They often accommodate two people,
Sure.
and it's generally one person driving. Every now and then you may see a passenger,
Right.
and then sometimes if you see that vehicle often enough, it's gonna be a different passenger depending on who the driver is. And then with that, the engine is not in the front; it's actually in the trunk.
Yeah.
So it's like, with a lot of women, the substance is not up here, it's back there, around here. That's all they actually have to offer. So although you look good, you make a lot of noise when you come, you get attention when you at the stoplight. I mean, you don't accommodate nobody but yourself. You know what I'm saying? You I mean, versus a luxury car, I mean, hey, you look at safety.
True.
You got the multiple airbags.
True.
You got, matter of fact, the maintenance on that sports car is way more expensive.
Than a luxury.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But the luxury accommodates you, a family. You know what I'm saying?
Room for growth.
It's room for growth. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
who wants a sports car?
Well, in saying that, you spoke about how your mom gets the fabric, and you say it takes time to put that dress together. It takes time to put that. I like a good jumpsuit, so I'm gonna use that as an analogy. Okay,
Right.
Takes time to get that jumpsuit together. So, but in today's society, is anyone willing to take the time? It seems that, oh, I met you 2 days ago, then we're going to move in a month later, and then, oh, I don't know what's going wrong. I thought we were in love, and all of these other things, but
There's so many different qualifiers, and one of look, I'm just speaking for Clarence. It's probably because I know him, right? Go figure. I know him just a little bit, y'all. It's one of his things is communication, but it's the effectiveness of communication, and I think that that's a barrier. But for me personally, I try not to. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you know me a little bit, just like right here. I try not to bring in past relationships into current relationships.
In what way?
And what? So whatever my experience was with my ex, I don't bring that experience in with my current. And oftentimes we do that. So whatever Nico did, and Nico, that's just a made up name. I don't know Nico. Right?
Are you saying in a verbal way, like say he pushed his glass here, and you would rather he? Are you saying is in my ex used to do that, I can't stand that kind of way, or is it just you have blocked in your mind?
Even if it's a subtle reminder, say for instance, if Clarence and I we were dating,
Okay.
and I noticed a behavior of his, although he didn't execute whatever it was that my ex did,
Right.
I don't think it's fair for me to bring on the feeling to him of what my ex did. You understand what I'm saying? Because he didn't do it, so why hold him responsible for that feeling and or that emotion?
Okay.
So I shut down, and then I have to remind him and say, you know what? When you move my glass like that, Nico did that, and when Nico did that, guess what happens next? He hit me upside the head with it.
Okay.
Well, see, he was just moving the glass because, he's trying to get a little bit closer because
He
he
didn't want to pick it up.
Right.
Yeah, so things like that, that happens. But I think that feelings and emotions has a lot to do with communication. And if they're not communicated effectively, we have that transference of energy.
Right.
When you're with somebody, you can feel how
That's
they
true.
feel.
That is
and
true.
oftentimes we have to sit and be quiet in a moment and say, hey, for me, I need to walk away.
Give me a second.
And I learned from a past relationship that walking away can be associated with abandonment.
True.
Right? So you're abandoning me in this moment. And then I was like, oh, no, I just need to walk away to not disrespect you. Because I've learned that I can become disrespectful.
And then sometimes, like you're saying, walking away can be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember T.D. Jakes, he preached a sermon, say anybody that'll walk away from you, let them. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's not always what you do.
It's how you do it.
You know what I mean? So now, if you're gonna walk away from me, let me know. Say, hey, I need a few minutes. I need to gather myself.
The communication has to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be some communication because the first thing I'm going to assume, because if there's no certainty about what you're doing, then I can only assume.
Question. Right.
Right. And so I'm like, oh, so I don't like that, but you're doing it. So I feel like now I'm translating that as disrespect.
Do you think that in today, though, I believe that your past relationships teach you a lesson.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Right.
And I think that going into any new relationship, I believe it's important to say every lesson you've learned when you're getting to know a person. Nowadays everybody wants microwavable results. It's like, I want it now. I want it instant. I want to be able to add the hot water. Bam, I got grits.
Right.
It's not always.
If it's not done in 3 or 4 months, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that it's important to talk and get to know the other person and lay out what is just, this is my line, this is non-negotiable.
Right.
The glass dragging across the table is a petty thing.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
But sometimes are there things that one person did that may have led to something negative that the other person really just does
Totally oblivious to.
Right.
Yeah.
And you say it's a non-negotiable, but this could be a good person.
Right.
And it, what happens in that regard?
Well, I believe, and I always tell people that when you have those initial conversations, I call them core attached situations.
Okay.
That we need to talk about.
Okay.
And then I also kind of made up a name like the ETDs because you have emotionally transmitted diseases in a sense. So like you can be taking the effects. Now I'm all with you. Take the wisdom and the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, and those things that you understand from those past relationships, but don't bring the residue of your response or your reactions from it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, at least until you identify that person is actually guilty. Because like the law said, you're guilty until you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
But a lot of times when your emotions are involved,
You're already guilty.
you're guilty, and then you have to prove yourself innocent, and then there still may be some residue of my attitude towards you. just because you took me to an unpleasant place.
Right.
And that's when our defense mechanism kick in, because hey, when you're dealing with somebody that one, and I keep referencing Clarence because that's what we're talking about,
Right.
or whatever, on his level and the way he communicates. So it's natural for, say, me to defend myself. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Like, where are you coming from with that? Because my intentions or my motives were pure. When I passed you the glass, sweetie, it wasn't to hit you upside the head or to hurt you. I just wanted to make sure that you had something to drink. But for him, it was like, no, what I'm trying to do is explain to you, this is how this affect me. And for me, I'm like, well, to me, you're bringing on the past. And you letting that affect us. So it's an issue now. And so that comes to me, just from my experience, and for me, it has to do with defense mechanism and with, this is book, and he doesn't really like book. Like, look, don't talk book to me. But it's called egotistical mechanism, non-self-control.
Okay.
Non-self-control. So that means that it's an emotion or a hurt that lies that hasn't been yet healed, or that you refuse to identify with. Okay. But once you identify with that thing, to say, hey, you know what, I can easily let this go and not imply this upon the next person. Because if the next person, if their willingness wasn't to intentionally hurt me, and they haven't shown me anything outside of, hey, dignity and respect,
right.
I can move past that. But if I refuse to move past that, then it has a play of my ego.
Yeah,
and it's it's personal, so it's different parts of the ego. When we look at the ego, like we talked about earlier, as vanity, or I think that I'm all that. But the ego is much bigger than that one particular thing.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it. So I'm trying to think outside of that. I'm like, no, wait a minute now. Like, I've come too far for that. Like, this is not that wasn't my intention. You mean to tell me this? We're gonna sit in this place? So it's not clear. So the alignment has to take place too. And so that's where the struggle comes in. And then I guess that has to go back to, well, are you gonna listen? Are you going to hear me? I want you to hear me, like Pastor Keon always says. That's our pastor at Lighthouse Church, and as well as Clarence, right? Shout out. Listen with your head and not your heart, because we as women, I'm listening with my heart because I love you and I want you to hear me, because I would never intentionally hurt you. Do you not see this? It wasn't intentional. And then, possibly for him, it's like, but you did hurt me. I said I don't like it, but you're not listening to me.
Right.
You're not listening to me right now because you're thinking with this and not here. I just want you to hear me out.
Right.
Yeah, and so it goes back and forth,
Yeah. And that's when you have an unparalleled balance. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I say it all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to your head, but you're listening with your heart, and so therefore you cannot effectively comprehend what I'm translating to you. And so it's like, you may think I'm reacting to the past. I'm just informing you, that, hey, this happened and this is what can remind me of that. I don't want to react to you like I did that, but just listen to me long enough to understand
where I'm coming from.
Right. And then you'll be like, okay, well, you know what? Ahead of time, I know that he or she don't like that. So let me prepare myself, or let me prevent that. And I tell people all the time, every man should be a problem solver. Right. And the best way to solve a problem is to prevent it. And the way you can prevent it is to anticipate what can go wrong.
You said to anticipate what can go wrong.
Yeah, and it's easy to anticipate if I've already informed you.
Right. So that's called forward thinking. So you're forecasting the thoughts of, okay, so this could possibly go wrong. And I think that he's really good with that.
Cause and effect.
Yeah, and then for most women, not all, some of us are forward thinking. So we forecast our thoughts for tomorrow. Like, we mainly do it with our children and with the household, what's going on. And we sometimes do it with our spouses and our boyfriends. We do that in the moment. Right. Of, okay, so I know he needs the cleaners and he needs this and he needs this for, because he's a barber. So he may, need to get new clippers. But what about his thoughts and his feelings and his emotions? Is he tired, and how he's going to feel, and make sure he has something to eat and things like that. Those are some of the things that we can skip out on, or just we automatically assume that he has to be in this high spirit after this man has worked 20 hours and have the same energy level that we have, right? And we have this unrealistic expectation. And so when our expectations aren't met, that's when the emotions kick in, right?
You don't love me. Like, no, I'm tired.
I don't want you to be tired right now. Be tired later.
Right. We should be together.
Right. I was tired.
We're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then that has a lot to do with what we've also talked about having equal and healthy balance also in relationships too. You know, to be balanced. Don't you think?
You have to have balance.
So what if both people work 20 hours in the day?
Well, if
I mean, I never want to work.
and this is like the
I
other
don't
thing.
want to work 6.
Yeah.
I don't want to work 8.
Yeah, but it's like the other
Okay.
thing too, like what you were saying, and I guess in a sense on how to prevent certain problems from happening
Right.
later on in a relationship. Those things can be discussed in the beginning of the relationship. Like I say, people most of the time they enter into a relationship telling you all about their benefits, all the things that complement their personality, their character. You know, this is how much I make, blah blah blah. But I like to go in asking, what are your flaws?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like what could I mean? Because we're not going to break up because you make $200,000 a year.
Right.
That's not a reason to break up.
True.
But now, if you have a certain level of pride or ego, vanity that comes with that, then that's going to end up breaking us up.
But you have to also realize that when you ask that question, a lot of people are not going to be honest.
Oh, I love that word.
They are not going to put that flaw out there, because if they've exited a relationship many times over time, whether it be from other people telling them or just them telling themselves, they were not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have it in their heads that I'm not the problem. It was this one. This one did A, B, C, and D.
And I'm already checked out because my wisdom, knowledge in the last relationship
Has taught me that
hey, if you're not accountable for what you've done wrong,
yes,
then you're not going to be accountable for what you do wrong in this relationship.
Absolutely.
correct.
Yeah.
I think the last relationship that I was in, which was a few months ago, one of our first conversations was we talked about our flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, I want to enter this relationship doing flaws only.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go in it, head first. It didn't work.
Do you
It
think
didn't
when
work out in the
someone-
end, but we discovered a lot. I discovered a lot about myself, which I knew already, but being held accountable, because I didn't have to be held accountable before, based on other different circumstances, right?
Right.
But I discovered so much more about myself and about that person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I still like the person. He's okay. He makes me sick and get on my nerves sometimes, but that's beside the point. We're still cool.
Cordial.
But no, we have a beautiful relationship.
Oh, it's great. Friendship.
Yeah, we
It
have
just
a
wouldn't
beautiful
work.
relationship with one another. Don't get me wrong. But it gave us an opportunity to, like, hey, you know what, let's just be friends. Because we skipped the friend part. We went from, hey, let's hate each other. Let me give you all my flaws, which you're going to probably not like me, right? Because I showed him my flaws first. And then we ended up saying, hey, this is not going to work for us. Let's be friends.
Do you think that, I'm going to ask both of you, because you say you want to know the flaws up front as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that a person who is honest and knows what their flaws are, do you think that in doing so, it puts a kind of a mark on, because
The type of flaw?
Well, the flaw in general.
Okay.
If it's something, and so you've gotten all of that up front, right?
Uh-huh.
So, do you think that in doing so, it's already marked the relationship in that now you're looking for it to happen? You're I'm waiting on. There it is.
Well, it depends on the person. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because there are certain things that I deem as deal breakers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are certain things
Like your back out.
well, not that's not yeah. But it, in moderation. You know what I'm saying? But
Throw your back out
One time.
once or twice a summer. Don't do it too much.
because my thing is I'm very considerate. And sometimes people say like,
What?
I am. Sometimes I've been over considerate. I guess there's such a thing. It's like, because sometimes people are like, man, you gave that too much time. I'm like, what was you waiting on? I'm like, man, I was waiting on some adjustments going on. But a lot of times it's like if a person is honest with me, and depending on what they're honest about, if it's something like serious, then that lets me know the depth of honesty that they're willing to share with me. So I have respect for that.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And if it don't fall in that category of deal breakers with me, then I'll still entertain that person. You know what I'm saying? And but if it's something that I'm like, I'll let them know, like, right, because now I'm required to be, and it's easy to be honest with people that's honest with you.
Okay.
If that's what you really want. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people, they'll tell you the truth all day. And the truth can be negotiated, manipulated, and they can still use parts of the truth to persuade you.
Omission.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But see, that honesty, that's hey man, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. Take it and deal with it.
And I'm glad you said that. So on the flip side, when you let someone know what your flaws are and they also know your deal breakers, do you ever worry that they use that? Because there are people that will listen and they will make themselves, well, either use it against you or make themselves exactly what you're looking for. To me, that can only last for so long. I can only speak to your representative for so long. Eventually, you will show yourself.
All right.
You know. So, do you think that putting those things? I don't think it's a bad thing to put it out there. I do think some things you should just learn in relationships.
I totally agree with that. I also think that if you tell everybody what's great about you, then they can take advantage of you. So if you put all of that out there as well, so so that's what he about, so that's what she has. So let me pretend so I can take advantage of him, of her or him or whomever also. So it goes both ways. So I would rather, hey, let me share with you who I am, my flaws. Because one of the first things I tell guys when I meet them, look, I'm spoiled. I'm rotten. Like, I don't know no other way.
But do you do that because you already know what you bring to the table?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But at the same time, though, I don't think
it's a turn off for some guys.
And I think it should be.
Why?
I mean, because
why you think so?
Because if we look up or define the word spoiled, what is the first thing? You leave that food out too long.
Okay, so when I say, let me
finish this point because I understand what you mean. Trust me, everybody understand what you mean because it's a cultural word. We want to say, I'm spoiled. I like nice things. I like blah, blah. Right. We know what that means. But at the same time, with my experience and wisdom from past relationships, the first cousin to spoil is selfishness. And so it's like when you don't get what you want the way you want it. Sometimes
how do you respond?
Yeah, now you throw a temper tantrum, or there's an attitude associated with it. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when the real you. That you told me about
representative on lunch.
You know, but the kicker is you were actually honest, but it was in the the definition sometimes has more than one definition. So yeah, I knew that you. I knew that you like nice things. I knew that you. Your love language was gifts or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or just a lot of kind words. You want me to you want to glut on what you like, which is nothing wrong with it. But how do you react when you don't get it every time you want it, the way you want it, when you want it?
So the things that I require in being spoiled would be mainly like time and attention when I want it. Because I think that you need number 3.
I don't know about thinking about alcoholic. I'm good.
No, there's a lot of drinking on the people.
So I'm fitting right in.
So they're new to this.
I
know everybody who sees this is gonna be like, she only did 1 glass.
This ain't nothing but some tennis sugar water.
I don't drink, but I have Hennessy.
What a long ride.
I know, right?
I only live in Dallas, I'm sorry. But yeah, so the spoil associated with, I can understand him being like selfish because I can be selfish, but I'm able to identify like those things, but I'm not like selfish with things and time and energy and pouring into who I'm with. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want you, like I want your time. I want your energy. I want to be up under you. So if you don't have time for me or you're like, hey, you know what, I need a break or I want some time to myself, I may pout. But it's only in that moment to say, hey, I just want to be with you. I just want to be with you. But it doesn't last long. It's not like I'm going to take it over the next morning and start bitching about it the next day. Okay. It's not one of those selfish, I'm not that emotional. I'm not that irrational in thinking like, I'm mad, I'm angry.
Okay.
So I don't. He associates my spoiledness in measures the way I'm like, no, that's not being spoiled. It's not like, oh, you know what, you're not getting what you want. No, I'm asking a question. You saying no, I'm accepting it, but I can ask a follow up question of why or why not.
Okay.
Because I want.
And
I
if
need a
that's the
clear.
same question,
I need a clear
with a different
understanding.
format,
I just need a
you know
clear.
what I'm saying?
You already answered.
Right, so you're like, okay, like what's 2 plus 2? You be like 4. Okay, but what's 3 plus 1? You be like, okay, 4. Okay, but what's 1 plus 3 then? I'm like, I told you already. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, and sometimes and not particularly.
No.
Yeah, Coke with it. Everything to mix it with. No.
Some ice.
Okay, no, just go. But yeah, when you have a person that labels themselves spoiled, it's almost like, okay, well, spoiled actually it's like, okay, yeah, if I want these things and I don't get it, that's how you know you spoiled. Spoiled is actually based on the reaction of you not getting what you want.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing
That's
is,
how you obtain the label.
right.
Okay.
It's the reaction afterwards. So we know what you want, but then when you don't get it, that's why I say the reaction is so important. And then some people may say, oh, I'm not that bad, I'm not that bad. Well, hey, if you grade your paper, you're going to pass every time.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But now, what about if somebody else is grading your paper?
Then.
Because you want me to accept your reaction the same way you do, because it's not that bad to you.
Right.
But I know you differently than you know you.
Right.
And so the thing is, my patience level toward that particular situation may be different. I'm pretty sure you have all the patience in the world for you. But when it comes to that, I may be like,
Sure, you think you're great. You think you're awesome.
exactly.
Right.
And you're supposed
And you
to.
know what's funny is that every guy I've ever dated, anything I've ever asked for, I try not to ask for anything outside of what they can give, and it's always been given to me. And so when you date somebody,
So now there's an expectation. So she's taking that from the last relationship, and she may take it to her new relationship.
But
I'm like,
she's
wait a
already
minute.
engaged. Okay, I know they can only get this way, so I'm like,
Yeah, within your budget. I
can you
want
buy me a
this.
pencil?
Yeah.
you know.
Or can I get 3 hours? I'm staying over for a week. Okay,
So,
thanks. Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's all good.
I understand. I understand. I mean, I don't think it's wrong to say that you like nice things, but let me go back. When you say that and you say things within their budget, but say you love everything
That was
new.
hypothetical.
I know,
It's not serious. Okay.
but say this is, you know,
Hypothetically
I'm not.
speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, she's a sweetheart.
I'm not superficial for real, y'all.
But say you say, okay, well, I know this, so I'm going to appreciate this. I know that right now you have A, B, C, and D going on. So if you took the time to go to Walmart to give me some roses, I'm happy with that. But I also know me. So Michael Kors Studio. And I like him. So Michael Kors Studio has just released a new bag. So I'm going to go get that for myself. And these are the ways that I spoil me. Do you think in certain ways in relationships that falls under submission? Because what if he could have gotten it for you? But you don't allow the chance for him to actually show or say, hey, I saved up to get you that. Why would you go get that? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Are there certain things in other ways that women have kind of taken the reins from the man? Because you're saying,
Definitely.
you are only here, so I'm so happy for that, and then you turn up with this. I got this bag because I wanted it, and I got Michael Kors Studio because I know they only make 5 or 6 of this, so I know I'm the only one with.
Right.
I'm one of like 10 people with this. You know? Do you think
that's almost to say if
she's like no.
let's say hypothetically if a woman, she had like her like the smoke alarm battery or something is beeping and say she called me to say, hey, can you come change this battery? I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I can't today. You know what I'm saying? Today is Sunday. I'll come by Tuesday. You know, now you ain't finna die. You know what I'm saying? With the alarm, whatever else. It's just let you know that it needs to be changed. It's not dead.
Never can.
But then Monday, now I told you I was coming Tuesday. But then when I change my schedule. I'm making preparations to come over there for Tuesday, and then I call you and say, hey, I'm on my way. You be like, oh, I got it changed Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I took off work early, you know what I'm saying, to try to show you that I was concerned enough to get to you as soon as possible, you know, according to my schedule, to come change it. But now you made me feel like, dang, you so spoiled. You had to have it changed Monday.
Do you think that's a spoiled thing? And I only ask that because I am one of those people. If I mention it in that moment and you can't do it, I think it's of consideration because you say you can't get to it till Tuesday. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go on.
Don't tell me, okay, well, come by Tuesday and do it. Say that, hey, I'll get somebody. If I can get somebody tomorrow, I'll do that. If not, then I'll let you know.
So you think that for you it's communication,
right?
So the way you
so what if? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say the same thing. So what if? Okay. So Monday, John Bob said he can come by and do it. Is that okay? And I'll just communicate with you. John Bob said he's gonna come take care of it for me on Tuesday. So baby, you don't have to come.
That
by.
depends on if you're a man
Monday,
or not. Because ain't no John
Monday.
Bob coming over there. That's just. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a drink too.
That's how I operate.
But we know he's
I am John Bob.
All right for the John Bob. So
what you think about? Why do women always say? So, what do you think about?
That's
that?
the conjunction that women use to talk a lot again.
you think so?
What?
Um,
Or they don't want to accept the answer that you're already given. So sometimes they ask you a question and then you can explain it to them.
Let me turn that on.
They'll ask you a question, you can explain it to them, and then they'll come back and say, so what you're saying is, I'm like, I've already said it. Like, do you not understand it, or do you not want to accept it?
You know what that reminds me of? I don't know if y'all have seen the thing. I know it's been on Instagram and Facebook where the girl calls. It's a little cartoon, and she says, "Hey, what are you doing?
You want me to come
Do you
over?
want me to come over?
Right.
I don't care. So, yes or no? Like, do you? Saying.
Yeah, it's fine if you want to. Come on over. Yeah.
So, do you want me to, or do you not want me to?
I said it's cool if you want to come over.
Right.
I'm not doing anything.
But why can't he give like a yes?
Yes,
or
I
no,
want to
or
see
yes,
you.
I want to see you.
Well, if he didn't want her, because this is the thing. There's what you're not realizing, that there's an ounce of consideration in that thing. Because it's like, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, you are more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't say no, almost like with women, I mean, because this is what killed me about women.
Please.
Yes. you can't expect to receive something that you don't want to give. So the thing is, if I ask you, do you want to do this? It don't matter. Or like, tell me where you want to eat. It don't matter.
Okay, time out on that one. Because as a Southern girl in Mississippi, at some point we want you just to make that decision.
That's fine.
And it is, and that's what it. But that's
and
what
that's
it
the same
goes
thing
to.
he said. If you want to, and if she would have said, "I want to," hey, well, come on over.
But she's saying, but she doesn't. The thing is, if I am asking, can I come over? We already know that I want to,
right?
Because I've already.
And if I didn't
it.
say no, then it means that it's cool.
But you're indifferent to it.
Well, the thing is,
It sounds like it doesn't
matter
matter
with
whether you
either
come or
way. You're
not.
like,
If you
I'm
come,
good.
because guess
You
what?
don't.
Because guess
Right.
what? If I didn't call for you to come, you asked me to come.
So if you didn't call, what?
So that's what I'm saying. I'm minding my business. In this video, the dude was minding his business.
He was chilling.
He was chilling. And out the blue, she called and say, "Hey, I'm in your neighborhood. Want me to come over?" Yeah, that's fine if you want to. You know, that means there's no pressure. If you don't come, I ain't gonna die.
And you know what that says to somebody who's actually interested? I'm not gonna go.
Well, then.
And it could be
that's
the way I
fine.
was raised. I wouldn't come because that sounds to me
it
like
seems like I don't really care. If you come.
Like,
Well,
and
and-
so
and-
I
and-
thought
Like,
enough.
you're not
I
really that
thought enough
significant.
of you to
And
call
to
you.
certain men, that deems you as spoiled, because see, the thing is, you didn't raise this whole roof just because you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, although I gave you the answer that you needed to have access.
But it's just about it. But it's just about feeling significant in the moment of saying, "Hey, you know what?
How significant are you? If you are not, listen,
you just solidified that.
No, wait a minute. What I'm
just
saying
let
is,
me know. Hey.
she wasn't his girl. I mean, because the thing is, I wouldn't have got this call if you wasn't in my neighborhood. Another occasion had to bring you near.
But she thought about you while she
in the midst of being in the neighborhood. So how important am I? It's not like
important enough not to go straight home.
Okay, that's almost like saying, okay, I'm low on gas. I got enough to make it home. Do I want to stop at this gas station or do I want to stop at another gas station?
No, that's not equivalent.
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Let me help you understand why.
Okay.
Because again, if she was what? If she just didn't so happen to be in that neighborhood, he never would have gotten a phone call.
Is that how you do that?
It's the obvious because the first thing she let off and said.
Well, see, that's the question on it because that's the question on there. People ask,
According to the video,
right.
According to the video, she was standing on the side of her car.
She had come from somewhere, right?
Right, and she said, "Hey, I'm in your neighborhood."
Right.
So that means that at your convenience, you want to come see me. So I'm not going to act like I'm not going to treat you no more important than what you're treating me right now. This is a convenient move.
So if she was at home, let's change the scenario. She was at home
now
and
we're going to change the scenario.
hey,
we want to deal with that one, but we're going to change the scenario.
No, I'm just asking. So I'm at home, call him up, I'm thinking about you. I want to come see you. I miss you. Can I come see you?
And if he wants to, he'll say yes.
If you want to. If I want to.
It depends on who you are to him. Now, if you're his woman, yeah, baby, come on. You know what I'm saying? But if you just out of nowhere, and this is just on your convenience, if I ain't doing nothing, hey, if you want to, come on. So it's actually, you're getting what you're giving.
We both white.
No, because you don't want to accept it. But at the end of the day, what if let's switch the scenario with the gender. Okay, so he just so happened to be over there. Hey, I'm in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about coming to see you.
Can I come over?
Can I come over?
No.
You know why? Because the first question gonna be, why you over here?
Right.
What you doing?
I'm in the neighborhood.
Wait, but where you coming from?
Right. That's how we do.
Right.
Why you in my neighborhood?
That's the difference. No, you can't. Where you coming from? What you doing?
So
why you feel comfortable?
He ain't popping up. He asking you for your permission.
No.
It's not a pop up if you know he coming.
No. But you just in my neighborhood.
Random.
No.
See the difference? Yes. That's why I wanted to have this conversation.
You know what? I'm glad y'all said that because
if my ex called me and said I'm in your neighborhood, it's gonna be a trillion questions.
It is.
I know you ain't out in Cyprus.
Why you in Cyprus? Who you know in Cyprus? And then better yet, who you know in my neighborhood? We dated for so long and I ain't never see you drive. You ain't take me to nobody up the street. So why you even up the street? I don't even understand.
And that's why women eat. Listen, that's why women eat flats and men eat drums. Y'all take the complicated route. See, and y'all tripping on y'all tripping on what? Wait. Y'all tripping on what he said when he simplified the situation and said, if you want to. Now the thing is, she was a pop up. Just like y'all said,
she wasn't a pop up because she called like you, but you clarified.
No, okay, you're right. You're right.
They called.
I was going right on what y'all said. The first thing y'all said, you ain't finna pop up at my house.
Right.
So, and I'm saying, but he didn't even exercise that idea. He just said, if you want to. He didn't have no string. It was no strings attached. There was no conditions. He didn't really care where she was coming from. He didn't ask where she did.
And that was part of the.
No, now we're making assumptions. But if we're going on what the video suggests,
said, okay, straight off the video, I get it.
But you know what? But you know what? If I call my ex and say, hey, I was in your neighborhood.
It be some.
He ain't going for that.
Yeah.
Oh, you in my neighborhood.
Where you coming from?
Say,
yeah, come on.
No, he ain't gonna say, yeah, come on. It won't be that easy.
Oh.
But then now we're dealing with the tangibles of whatever that relationship consists of. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm just out the blue, according to this video, just straight facts.
Straight facts. I get it.
Right.
So you're saying it came off as like, this is not a relationship. This is maybe a It is what it is.
At your convenience. And it don't mean that anything was going to even pop off.
Right.
It's just like, hey, you in the neighborhood and I just want to come through and see you. Hey, how convenient it is. I may have been for work or just seeing a friend, whatever, they live in the same neighborhood.
Right.
And while I'm over here, I just stopped by to see you.
Right.
Because it sounded like, based on the video, it seems like, or it came out as if they hadn't seen each other in a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you just so happen to come over here, and now you just so happen to want to see me. But the only reason that you want to see me is because you just so happen to be in my neighborhood.
She could have been in town from school.
So hey, whatever. How come you didn't call me before
that was
you
a rent-a-car.
Yeah.
How come you didn't call me before you got in time?
Maybe I tried.
Oh, ain't
And
no
you was
maybe.
watching-
Did you? You were there.
You were playing video.
No, hold on.
No, she called
Maybe.
his phone went to voicemail because he was getting another call at the same time, or he was at work and his phone was off because he can't take calls. He can't take calls while he's at work. That's what happened.
Time out. Too much game being played.
Or maybe she got a new number since she been at school, and some people don't like to answer numbers they don't know.
Right.
But what if you ain't got no missed calls?
Then you had your phone off. That's not my problem.
Oh, now you
You need to you need to contact T-Mobile. T-Mobile does that a lot.
Boy, man, listen. Well, women come up with some stuff.
And you know what?
You didn't call me. I did call you. It didn't come through.
That's
yes,
right.
it did.
No,
Yes, it did.
I get a lot of missed calls though on my phone. Like when you called me earlier, my phone didn't ring. I just saw that it was a missed call.
See?
Yeah.
Prime example.
No,
But sometimes
really,
it don't
really.
come through. It'll be on
No,
my
really.
end.
No, really, for real, it didn't ring.
And I like to screenshot. No, I called you at this time.
That's-
Yeah, I'm a screenshotter.
Okay.
Yeah, I like my proof.
And they be like, let it go to voicemail. If it don't go to voicemail, it ain't gonna come through. Wow, y'all are so creative.
Thank you, Clarence.
You're welcome. Thank you for the game.
Have you been informed?
No,
man.
child,
You
please.
learned some stuff.
He's a master of game. Please.
Whatever. I'm the referee. I don't have to play. Oh, y'all see this? Oh, please don't edit that out. I love this reaction.
I'm sorry, y'all.
not
My
gonna
bad.
edit.
I forgot where I was. Let me.
No, we're fine.
I got hot.
You ain't even drinking. Just like. No, guys, this has honestly been very informative, especially getting your opinion. So, Clarence, do you have any things going on if you want to talk about your podcast?
Yes. Every Tuesday night at 8, we have a panel of two other co-hosts with me, Tiara Jackson and Ricky Johnson. The name of our show at Tuesday night 8 o'clock is called Tuesday Night Live.
Okay.
And we discuss relationships. I mean, we go in. We have all types of questions from why men cheat, why do women lie, why do everything you can think of it. We talk about it.
Okay.
Nothing's off topic.
And is that on iTunes?
No, it's not. Actually, you can log on to my Facebook page, Clarence Singleton. I keep it simple. Or Cleo the Barber. Cleo the best barber at that.
Oh. Ego.
Right.
Yes.
No, confidence. I have the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's actually on my live feed,
Okay.
Clarence Singleton, aka Cleo the best barber. Actually have an event coming up on the 12th.
What is it?
It's my manager.
What event you have coming up on the 12th?
Or is it the 10th?
Okay, so let me tell y'all a bit. I'll do it. So
Go ahead. Go ahead,
actually,
Maya.
so he has reached his 5,000 followers. So you guys can follow him at Clarence
Instagram
on Facebook, right?
Facebook. Do you
Oh,
have
I
an
can't be
Instagram?
friends with him, but they can follow me.
He has an Instagram account.
Is
But
that the same?
yes, Clarence Singleton
Okay.
on Instagram, right? And Cleo the Barber. But on Facebook, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., Tuesday Night Live, follow him. Typically he posts a question about between 4 and 5,
Sometimes earlier.
sometimes earlier.
Okay.
Whenever it comes
It's
to-
a very controversial question, so be prepared for that. and then you have leading questions that follow that, right?
Right.
So that's usually the topic of the night.
Okay.
So that's on Tuesdays. On March the 9th, we have an event at Bar Louie. That's what he's trying to say. We would love for you guys to come out. It starts at 8 p.m. It's from 7 until 11, March
Okay.
the 9th. And then he has some upcoming events as well. At the end of the summer, he'll start his life coaching classes, relationship coaching. At the end of the summer, what about maybe August?
Sounds like this. She's doing a great job.
Some information. We'll have information coming out on that soon. Look out for that information on Instagram, Facebook, as well as on my page. I am Maya Avery. I'm also a life coach as well. You can follow me at Maya Avery on Facebook and the Motivating Force on Instagram. Right?
Awesome.
So Motivating Force on Instagram, Maya Avery MAYA on Facebook.
And you can also find Motivating Force on my friends list.
Yeah. Check her out, right? And you know what? While we're here, I want you guys to check out my daughter, which you'll be interviewing her here shortly. Widow Goddess. She has an event too, and Mr. Clarence Singleton
will be in attendance.
As well as he's going to be one of our sponsors as well. Tell me the name of your barbershop and where you're located.
Dream Chasers Barber and Beauty Studio. We're located at
somewhere.
19333 Highway 59, Humble, Texas. I know it's a little ride for some of y'all. 77396 Suite 300.
Okay.
Again, that is Dream Chasers.
It's very rarely that he has an opening. Very, very rare, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Matter of
about
fact,
appointment
I only work by appointments. We have a website, www.dreamchasersbarbershop.com.
And his ego is not that big, y'all. It's just like this. Honestly, it's not that big. It's small.
But my confidence is like...
It's worldwide. Yeah. So thank you.
Is from the West.
You remember our handshake? That's not it. That's not it.
Yes, it was.
You don't know it.
All right, guys. While they figure out this handshake, it's been your girl, Unique B. And once again, don't forget, be unique and think. See you guys next time. Oh, Madness Monday. We're going to start with some MD 2020, and we're going to take it from there.
Ooh.
See y'all Monday.
Is that Mad Dog?
Mad Dog.